What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the All Things Considered Disc Golf podcast, where we consider all things related to disc golf. I am your host, Jacob, joined as always by Cameron. Cameron, let the people know what we're going to be talking about this week.
Yeah, so it is Monday, so we're going to get a quick Super Bowl recap. That'll be pretty brief, pretty quick. We have Rookie to Discraft, which, as always, it is the podcast curse, I think, you just like unanimously, but the day after we recorded last, Ricky announced to Discraft, so there's that. Aaron Gossage finally learned how to putt over New Zealand. Pretty huge for him. And then we're going to talk about, this is interesting, we're going to talk about what it'll take for this season to be better than the last season in 2024. So should be interesting because 2024 was filled with a lot of notable things. So without further ado, we're just going to go Super Bowl real quick. Thoughts, final thoughts.
Thoughts?
Being a Missourian.
We are in Chiefs country.
Absolutely.
For sure. We're about 2 hours south of Kansas City. I work at a university, and the majority of our students are from Missouri or the neighboring states. But I do interact with some people that are not Chiefs fans, and I don't know if you can tell by my sweatshirt. I'm wearing an Eagles sweatshirt. So I'm not one of those Chiefs people, and I actually legitimately do like the Eagles. Like, it was really unfortunate. I was a kid, and I didn't really know that he was like probably not somebody I should enjoy watching. But I actually really liked Michael Vick. Whenever I was a kid,
video game player.
Yeah. So I just really liked Michael Vick as a kid. Donovan McNabb, GOAT. You know what I mean? So I just kind of liked the Eagles, and I was a huge Kobe Bryant fan. He was an Eagles fan. He was from Philly originally after his parents moved back from overseas. So I actually kind of liked the Eagles. So whenever they were there, I'm like, yeah, I want the Eagles to win.
Yeah, here's my thing with the Chiefs, because I know, again, we are like, you ask anybody, they're Chiefs fans. However, I would say that our family is starting to become Chiefs fans because they're a Missouri team.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't hate the Chiefs, but we were Rams fans before. We're a St. Louis area team. We're big Cardinals guys, not so much Royals guys. So I think once the Rams left, we had nothing for football, quote unquote. So it's like
we couldn't just switch over. We didn't want to just become Chiefs fans because we had hated the Chiefs for so long because we were Rams fans.
Right. So I think it was very bittersweet. However, this was the first full football game that I watched all year long. I'm not a big football guy anyways.
Sure, yeah.
But the Chiefs' offensive line,
abysmal.
That was tragic, honestly. Again, like Patrick Mahomes is like this god tier athlete, and there's only so much you can do when
he was still able to create some pretty crazy stuff.
But you got to give it to the Eagles. They came out like dogs.
They wanted it bad.
Yeah,
they wanted it bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the three-peat's cool, and it's tough because I want to root for the Missouri team. But again, being the Rams fan like so early, that's just kind of instilled. And I'm really not like a Rams fan now because they moved. Yeah,
we weren't going to stay. Here's the deal. It felt bad both ways. We didn't want to stay Rams fans because they literally were like, St. Louis is just not a good enough city. We want to move to Los Angeles. Shout out Stan Kroenke. He owns the Rams and made that decision. So we didn't want to support that, but we also didn't want to just bounce over to the Chiefs. And like I said, we were not a football family growing up.
No.
So really, whenever that happened, we're like, okay, I guess we just don't watch football anymore. Really care.
Yeah, I mean that's almost exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But shout out Jalen Hurts though. My guy popped off.
Yep. Saquon didn't really do as well as I wanted him to.
No, it was funny. We were talking about this yesterday, and like my football people can maybe like shed some light on the subject here, but we were all talking. We were like, why would you ever run through the middle? You know what I mean? I feel like that's all they did with Saquon. And sometimes he's big enough, strong enough, he'll kind of like push through and get like 10 to 12 yards. But it's like 2 yards, 3 yards. It's like, why keep doing that and just go? But again, I'm not knowledgeable in football, so I don't know if that's like strategy or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you just always ran to the outside, the defense would just adjust to that then. And then running it through the middle would make more sense because everybody runs it to the outside.
Either way, the Chiefs and the refs calls this season, I was like, you see it all the time. It's like it's what everyone's talking about. But the first drive of the game for the Eagles?
It was a fourth down conversion. It was 4th and 3, and they made the fourth down conversion. AJ Brown caught like a 20-yard pass.
And I knew it too, but the refs kind of gave it right back because there was a pretty weak one on like the Chiefs.
Trent McDuffie then had a he had a not personal foul. What do they call it? Unsportsmanlike conduct is what it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Or maybe it was personal foul.
I think it was.
He hit him after he dropped it.
Yeah.
Like Dallas Goedert, I think is the guy's name, but he went up and tried to catch it. Was high throw, bad throw, honestly. Hit his hands, and then the guy Trent McDuffie hit him in the back after he had touched the ball. It was pretty weak. Dallas Goedert didn't even fall down; like he landed on his feet.
No. He kind of turned around like it was just any other play, and then. But hey, regardless, they still ended up winning. I mean, there was a couple garbage time touchdowns at the end there for the Chiefs, but so it wasn't as bad. But
at one point, I looked outside and it was 40-6.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
It's always next year.
Yeah.
Always next year. But let's move on because you're here for disc golf, I'm assuming.
This isn't a football podcast.
So Ricky to Discraft, literally, we recorded last, I think it was Sunday, and then they announced Monday Ricky to Discraft. I think everyone saw it coming, but it still feels a bit weird to me.
No,
you know what I mean?
I love it. I love it so much.
I mean, sure, I totally get it, and I think they did the right thing with the Ricky Raptor.
Come on,
that's just.
I mean, that sells itself.
Yeah, that's pretty genius marketing, honestly, and I think that's why Discraft is so successful is because of, their marketing is pretty overpowered in my opinion. But
Discraft used to have like a limit to their elite team, but it seems like they don't really care about that anymore.
Well, that's interesting, and I don't know if someone's gonna get
somebody gonna get the bump.
Someone's gonna get the bump, but. I get why they kind of have the team to make it a little more exclusive. It makes you work a little bit harder to get to that elite team, get your Tour Series disc. But if you have a bunch of people that are going to sell discs, why not just have a bunch of people that are going to sell discs? You know what I mean?
Because you would think Brody still would, but Brody's not on their elite team.
No, he's not. But apparently, and I think that's where they're kind of it's a little loophole, is I think Foundation and Discraft are partnering on a bunch of collaborations, and that's how they're going to sell Brody Smith discs. Because Brody is probably, after maybe Paul and Simon,
he moves plastic.
He moves plastic for sure. So
particularly 2 years ago.
Yeah, but regardless, I still think even him just being a face in the sport, he sells discs anyways. So I doubt he's super worried about that. But Ricky new putter coming out. I believe by the time we're recording this on a Monday, I think they can actually come out on Valentine's Day, the 14th.
That's this Friday.
Yeah, that's when we can wholesale new Ricky putters. Have you seen them?
Is it like a new putter or is it like a Focus that's got Ricky's name on it?
No, it's supposed to be a new putter. I haven't seen it on the PDGA approved discs or anything like that yet. I'll actually check that right now just in case. I haven't looked in a couple days.
My question is, how did they already get on that?
Dude, and I thought the same thing because in the building the bag or whatever with him and Yuli.
Yeah.
Or was it?
Did they talk about it at all in that?
Ricky was talking about him. They're in the fourth variation of it, just dialing it in. So I don't know how long it takes to make a disc, but
it also makes you wonder how long Ricky's been in talks with that dynamic is probably going to move along from him.
Yeah. Well, it was mutual, so I'm sure he was kind of hey guys. But no, they don't have it on the PDGA approved thing, but it's he said it's a blunter nose. It's really round. I think it's really deep, which I'm not going to be a huge fan of, but pretty blunt. But it has a Raptor scale texture on it. And apparently it's kind of an enhanced grip, or that's what he was advertising it as. I don't know. But I don't know. It should be interesting. We'll have them, I don't know, eventually. We'll order them probably at the end of the week. But definitely something to look out for. I mean, I imagine that's not going to be the last,
No, certainly not.
But especially with someone like Ricky, because then, we have all of these Paul Macbeth ones. I imagine eventually we'll get some Ricky Wysocki stuff. But I don't know. Because... Well, I guess you can technically play MPO as long as you think you want to, but I feel like they're not necessarily moving on from Paul Macbeth at all. You know what I mean? I think it could probably be the other way around, where he's kind of doing his own thing now, especially with Supreme Flight. But I think they're kind of putting all their chips in Anthony Barella at this point.
He's definitely the future.
Sure, and I think I didn't realize they sold the Cigarra is what it's called, which I found out is Spanish for cicada. I was confused by the name. Checks out. But I didn't realize they sold them on Ledgestone. I was looking at the Discraft factory store for them, but they sold them on the test flights for Ledgestone. So if you have one, Would love to throw it if you would allow me to do so. But until then, I think we'll probably have to go for the first rounds. But what do we think? Because last time I was talking about Ricky to Discraft, how this would like affect his legacy. No one seems to think so. So maybe I'm just way off base here. But then I kind of was like thinking about it. How does it affect Paul if Ricky, like week in, week out, is beating him now with like his own discs, you know? Or am I just reading like way too much into this?
Yeah, I don't think that matters.
Really?
No. Like, honestly, to me, if I'm Paul Macbeth and Ricky's like, I mean, this is the image. Actually, this is the example that I'll use. From the Building the Bag video that Discraft posted with Yuli and Ricky, from the onset, Ricky and Paul, they did it kind of in an interesting... Here's the deal. I know Discraft probably knows more than I do about like videography and marketing. That video felt like just a teensy bit awkward because it was literally, there were no cuts, which in one aspect was kind of cool. Like, it was literally just raw Paul Ulibarri and Ricky walking around the factory, the warehouse, picking out discs. Cool. But then, like, in the gaps of conversation, it was just kind of awkward. Like, it was just really quiet. And
it did seem like Paul Ulibarri was trying to like be the boss.
It was, yeah. So all that to say, Discraft, if you just throw like a little elevator music in the background of the videos, I think that might help. It just like, I almost like cringed a little bit sometimes, not because it was like drastic at all, but it just, yeah, whenever they weren't talking, it was like kind of weird, very quiet. Anyway, not important. What is important is that as soon as they got there from the onset, you know, Paul's trying to like say, hey, you know, we've got so many different types of molds and every different type of disc, like from putters, mid-range, fairways, distance drivers. There's a ton of stuff you can try. And literally, Ricky was like, where's the Luna? I want the Big Z Luna. Where's the Luna? Everybody throws the Big Z Luna. Where's the Luna? Where's the Luna? Where's the Luna? Where's the Luna? And so if I'm Paul Macbeth, I'm like, yeah, dude, great. I'm really glad that the throwing putter that I designed, my, you know, number one competitor throughout my career, is like, I love that disc and I want to throw it and it has his name on it. You know what I mean? So that, yeah, I don't care. I think Paul wants to win. You know, that's not what I'm trying to say. But if Paul loses and Ricky's winning because he's launching Paul Macbeth Lunas and he's launching Athenas all over the course, I don't think Paul cares.
Well, and I guess Paul really doesn't need money per se. But if Ricky's winning and he's like, hey, I love this Luna, and people go buy Lunas, I guess, yes, that only helps Paul. Yeah. So, I don't know. I can see it. I think maybe I'm just trying to force something that's really not there, but I like rivalries, you know?
Yeah.
Because it gives you something to root for, which is always good, but it also gives you something to root against sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I don't know. But
well, that's the thing with Paul. Well, that's the thing with disc golf in general is like, again, I don't know golfer sponsorships, but like two guys that are both sponsored by Callaway, that doesn't really help each other because, you know, there's not a specific player's driver or a specific player's putter. So it's just a little different with disc golf because you're marketing yourself on your equipment specifically, and like you make money from your marketed equipment. Now maybe like if you had a bag, like a golf bag that had your name on it, you know, sure that you sell those, but for the most part, like a driver's to driver and so on and so forth. So, but for Ricky, this went exactly as I would have liked. Like I said, last week we were talking about it, and I said I want him to go to either Discraft or MVP that is a profitable business and has discs that will sell no matter what. So if he throws his name on anything, they'll sell. And I'm very happy that he is with Discraft because that will happen.
One of the biggest things, too, that we didn't even really mention with that is that he I think he still is going to have the Wysocki Bomb logo.
Yeah.
But they kind of went all in on the Raptor.
Sure.
And I think it looks pretty sick, in my opinion. It's like very clean. And it's not initials. Like if he would have went with the RW,
that is your standard logo for disc golfers.
Yeah, and so like I think they kind of did really well on that part. So I am a big fan of that logo. But yeah, it should be. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this season kind of shakes out because like Discraft again, and they are one of like the more represented manufacturers, especially at the top. So I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of Discraft, you know, on feature cards, on lead cards throughout this season. But I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think that's absolutely true. I mean, you saw them go out and pick up a ton of people. You know what I mean? I think MVP, I think obviously Discmania is tough because, like, Gannon's going to be there. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But no, I think you're going to see a lot of Discraft on the tour. It just felt like everybody that like needed somebody or like anybody that was looking for a move this offseason was like MVP and Discraft were the popular landing places.
Absolutely. And I think
if you were going to give an offseason grade like free agency signings, I mean, Discraft has to have an A. They got Kale, Ezra, and Ricky Wysocki. I mean, that literally hits every demographic.
Yeah, so
the young people with Ezra, the old heads with Ricky and Kale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just looking, just to see the kind of the representation. It looks like they have, and I just lost count, but they have like 8 or 9 or 10 of the top 20 that like points last year that finished.
Yeah,
in points.
I mean, I'm looking at your list right there, and I see Chris Dickerson.
Yeah, I mean,
I see Anthony Burrell, I see Ezra Robinson, I see Paul Macbeth.
Ricky, Paul, Ezra, AB, Chris, and then
Prez,
Aaron, Adam Hammis, Prez now. So they have eight of the top 20 players are all Discraft guys, and then you have the little smorgasbord of everyone else. But
I forgot about Niklaus with Discmania, so you'll see some Discmania.
I didn't realize he finished so high, actually, looking at this now.
Good
for him.
He was very consistent.
Yeah, looks like it. You got anything else with Ricky? I mean,
no, most
only time will tell what's going to happen with him now. You know
I mean, I think he's going to succeed with the discs. Like, the discs are just good. Like, I think that's pretty common amongst a lot of pros that Discraft makes good plastic. Like, people like it. Also, this might just be like a realization for me that my grip is a problem. But hearing Ricky grab the disc, did you notice that at all?
No.
I mean, it was like when he's grabbing the disc and just like ripping into it. I'm like, you are grabbing that with the force of God.
No, like
he's squeaking that disc.
I definitely don't throw like Ricky Wysocki at all.
Also, just watching him as well, his hands are massive. I was really.
Well, he's a big guy. I mean, we've seen him. He's probably 6. What you think he's 6'3"?
6'3" at least, probably.
But I mean, he definitely. And he changed it to a power grip. I watched him like kind of throw that first box.
Which is amazing that he was fan gripping just like 500 feet. I don't understand that.
Yeah, no, I don't either. But we are but mere mortals in the disc golf world. So
yeah.
I think we're going to go ahead and move on here if that's cool with you.
Yep.
New Zealand National Disc Golf Championship.
Yep.
Went down. Like we said earlier, Aaron Gossage apparently, I've been watching the coverage on it. Aaron Gossage, or Luke Humphreys and Paul Oman were talking about how Aaron has kind of started to develop this spin putt. I guess he was a push putter before. In my opinion, didn't have very much success with it. But he was dialed the past couple of events, putting wise. So he is the 47th New Zealand disc golf champion. But he...
Oh my gosh, I did not realize how much he won by.
Yeah, so he I think this is technically wire to wire, it looks like. Maybe he wasn't winning. I think he was winning round 1, but his round 3, he shot 14 down. So a 1080 round, and so, but I think a lot of that, and I watched the final round, I think a lot of that, he missed a couple putts, as one does, but like, he made a lot more of the ones that you're probably used to seeing him miss, like probably like the deep circle to short circle 2 putts. He was just doing this like it was literally like all wrist, and it was just bullets to the basket. Like it was honestly really impressive, and it's funny because again, we are very much amateurs talking about professional disc golfers and judging them, but Aaron Gossage, I feel like I can confidently say was not a good putter.
I mean, definitely by pro standards.
Sure, by pro standards, absolutely. And so it should be interesting. Like, I think last week we talked about guys we thought would get their first win on tour. Mm-hmm. Although, I guess Aaron technically has one. He won OTB. Like, no?
No. He competed, but he lost. Sure. That was like his breakout.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so, but all that to say, I think I said Ezra Robinson is due. I forget who else I said. But after watching Aaron play, because he throws the disc
tremendously, forehand, backhand,
but like so far.
Yep, hard, accurate. His forehand power is unreal.
Yeah, so I think if he can do that and putt the way he's been putting, I'd like him to win something this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be hard after watching that, especially going into the season. He's already had like 5 weeks now of high competitive play where like there are probably some people in the States that are playing tournaments, but it's probably like I mean, I guess there was a couple A tiers, like Isaac played in A tier, but it's probably going to be a lot of local stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that he has this high level play and he's dialed kind of right now, I think, you know, I feel like a win could be early. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, just, you know, tidbit of information. He beat Jeremy Colling by 28 strokes.
Yeah, and Jerm finished 8th.
I mean, he won by 8
Yeah.
strokes. Like, it was not close.
Yeah, the 14 down was pretty nuts.
Which is also wild, just prize purse. Like, he only won that. I mean, only, but yeah, he won $1,000
Yeah.
for the New Zealand Disc Golf Championships.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how big that is. But Levi Stout, apparently, he's from New Zealand somewhere. But he's the number 1 rated player in New Zealand, I believe. But he got second. Robert Burridge put together a good down under tour, finishing 3rd. Braden Sides, Luke Humphreys, Ezra Robinson, Chandler. It is funny. You see the usual suspects on this tour down under.
Nate Perkins, sneaky little 10th place.
Oh, yeah, actually. Yeah, gotta like Aaron Gossage coming into this season.
Yeah, Aaron was my person. You said Ezra, I said Aaron.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Thanks.
MPO's side, I don't know how long she's been over here.
What the?
Yeah, you seen that? We'll touch on that in a second because I didn't know that either. Ella Hansen. I don't know. I don't know if
Has
this
she
was
been
her
there the
first
whole
one.
time? There's no way.
No, she was. She hasn't been there the whole
Juliana
time.
Korver.
Yeah. What? Can I talk about it?
Yeah.
I don't know how long she's been there, but came in and won.
Yeah.
Only person under par for the FPO side. It looked like it was a pretty big course, and again, I don't know what the wind was doing out there, but it was nothing good.
Yeah,
for sure.
The wind seemed to be a problem the whole time.
Yeah. Again, I will mistake her name till the day I die. Sophia, I'm going to say Donachie, but I know it's not. She put together a good tour. She probably podiumed every single event, I'm guessing. But again, the usual suspects. Juliana Korver was up there. Emily Weatherman. That Taylor Chosek, she was up there as well. She actually just missed cash, it looked like, at 5th. But
Bummer.
Overall, I think this tour down under was good. I think it was good for Go Throw to be there.
Definitely.
But one quick mention, Paul Oman. If looking at him, I would have guessed he was like, I mean, at most low 30s.
Yeah.
But he took down MP40 first place. So shouts to my guy, I guess. He killed it, actually.
And you're aging very well, Paul.
Yeah, seriously, man. You were doing something right. But, yeah, so Tour Down Under, not much to talk about there. It'll be a lot more once the season, like the actual Pro Tour season gets started. But it's still fun to see, like, coverage on, especially, like, top tier guys like this. So.
Can you remind the people when the first Go Throw event is? Do you know?
The first Go Throw event?
Yeah, because isn't it at Eagles or no?
I think it might be at Persimmon Ridge, but I can pull up a schedule for you real quick.
Because I am very interested to watch it.
Absolutely. And I thought there was going to be a thing where if you had like a tour card that you weren't able to, the Hideaway, March 8th. So it's actually in about a month. But that's the first one. Then Persimmon.
You've played there. You've played both those courses.
I have played both those courses. Very recent, actually. I played Eagles Crossing as well, actually. Yeah, I thought there was going to be kind of this thing, almost like the PGA and LIV, where PGA can't play on the LIV Tour and the LIV guys can't play on the PGA Tour. I thought the PDGA was doing something like that, but evidently not. I think you're going to see maybe not everyone play, but it will be a full field of touring professionals.
On the Go Throw Tour.
Yeah, which is definitely good to see because that makes it a little more
Can I see some merch?
watchable, in my opinion. Also, I don't know what they did with their. That's the merch right there. I don't know what. Oh my gosh!
How much is that hoodie?
$85. But I don't know what they did with their logo and designing. But they got rid of like the blue wherever that was at the very beginning.
Yeah,
that was like one of the smartest things they could have done. Was
definitely
just
feels like
color.
the initial release was rushed, but now they've had time to actually prepare.
Dial it in, and it looks really good.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
so
Very professional.
Still
don't love the name, but.
I mean, it is what it is. I think it rolls off the tongue. It's quick. It's it's the Go Throw Tour. I get it was like pretty low hanging fruit, but So this is kind of probably the main talking point of the season is like and Jacob will explain it better, but like, what will it take for this season to be better than last season? And I'll kind of let you get into that because this was more so your kind of thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. We were not into disc golf in like the 2015 Paul Macbeth era where he was just like winning every single event and dominating the scene. But I can't help but imagine that by 2016, the 2015 season happens, he averages like he didn't finish worse than third all year on the Pro Tour. He won the Grand Slam, won every major. I can't help but think that 2016, the only thing I know about 2016 is that Ricky won his first Worlds. That's all I know about 2016. I can't help but think that 2016 was a little bit of like a letdown in terms of like the overall enjoyment of that season.
The viewing pleasure, perhaps?
Yeah, because you're like, in 2015, you're watching history. You're like, this is insane. It's kind of the same thing with like if the Chiefs had won the World Series. It'd be like, if you watch this football season, you watch the Chiefs make history because no team's ever three-peated. So now, going into the 2025-2026 season, well, I guess just 2025. They don't overlay in a year. But the 2025 season, Gannon Buhr has literally just made history. I think he won. How many events did he actually win? Do you know?
I want to say it was like 8.
It was an astronomical number. But aside from that, he absolutely shattered the prize purse winning record in a single season. He won over $200,000 last year, which the thing is with disc golf right now, I don't think that is going to like... You're going to have to win a lot to get to that number, but unless disc golf hits another spike, that number is probably going to stick for a little while just because I think we've kind of reached a little bit of a plateau. But how many wins did he have last year? I see a lot of ones.
So he technically won 10, but one of them was a Q Series, which, I don't know, I feel like for him that's pretty low-hanging fruit. But
so he won 9 Pro Tour events.
9 Pro Tour plus the Pro Tour Championship.
Yeah, I would count.
So he won 10. It looks like 1, 2, Green Mountain. What is that? 3 D-Glow, Ledgestone, European Open, Beaver State, Portland, Waco. Memorial was just an A tier, so he won 9. Yes, I was counting Memorial.
Okay, so he won 9 events, which is a ton. Last year Calvin won Player of the Year, and I think he won 5, maybe 6. So he won, another, 33% more than Calvin did last year. So how does this season, like, what is it going to take now for somebody to have to do for this upcoming season to not be like, not a letdown, but just, I don't know, not as exciting. I don't know.
I get what you're saying. I think the way it happens is either Gannon or AB does something like this again. Because I feel like as disc golf grows, ideally the money grows with it. So there could potential to be more, prize money. Maybe they go find new sponsors and stuff like that for the tournaments. But I think it would either have to be something like that again, or there's going to have to be a bunch of unique winners this year. You know what I mean? And I would think that would have to include some new ones.
Yeah, I think new winners would help a ton. I think it's going to be so hard to see. But I think, like, obviously a Grand Slam would do that for me because, like, it's only happened the one time, I think.
I don't foresee that happening for a long, long time. But I think if anyone could do it, it's definitely Gannon. But, that's just a ridiculous...
I don't ever foresee Gannon... It's funny because obviously he will, but, like, he just... USDGC is literally just built for his game. Like, USDGC is so good for Gannon. It's like, I think USDGC, he could take it down any given year. I think Worlds this year being at the Beast, I love him at that course.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then the European Disc Golf Festival is at a different course, but I still think Gannon could succeed there. The only thing I would see him having trouble at is Champions Cup, because is it still going to be at Northwood?
No, dude. Champions Cup is in Stockton, California. At the
OTB?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I think you definitely could do it.
Yeah. Which I'm not 100% sure why that is, but
it is.
It is. Yeah. Let me look up the schedule real quick. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not sure why that is, to be honest with you. I thought, I don't know. They're so used to doing everything the same. Maybe it'll be a good thing, but I don't know. I think it's funny. But What else do you think?
I mean, I think that would be the biggest thing. Or even if there wasn't like a unique winner every event, obviously, because there will be some repeat winners.
Sure.
I think a unique world champion would be cool. I think it would, because like again, for me, I felt way more excited for Isaac after his first Worlds than I did this last year. I don't know about you. So I think that people winning.
Well, I'm a bit biased in that one.
What?
Sorry, I'm a bit biased in that Isaac Worlds because I was there. But is that what you were saying?
I was saying I was more excited for Isaac to win the first one than the second one.
Oh, I thought you said the second one than the first one. I was like, yeah, that was pretty cool. But,
no, I was more excited for Isaac, and I felt like he was more excited to win the first one than the second one.
Well, sure. I mean, the first one's always the best one. You know what I mean?
Sure. And so I think that would be a big thing for me is like, again, it wasn't a letdown. The tournament was still cool. Because did they play GMC or was that his first one? At GMC.
That was his first one.
Where'd they play? Oh, they played in Lynchburg.
Yeah, that was the second one.
So I still enjoyed watching the World Championships. Like, it was still fun. But I think watching somebody new take that down and have that title is always really exciting. So I would definitely want to see a unique name or Pump It Beth, either or.
Honestly.
The opposite. Basically unique or the opposite, because I just, anytime Paul wins Worlds, it feels nice.
Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, you don't really know how many more he's ever going to win, you know? People really liked him this year, and he did fine, but he wasn't.
What did he finish?
I think in the top 15, but
sure.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, no. I don't know. It's tough. Who wins Worlds this year in Europe?
I mean, I think Gannon is going to.
I was going to say, if he doesn't win, then I feel like something.
We talked about this last week, actually.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, I definitely think that. I don't see. Oh, there it is. Ledgestone is going to be in PO. Oh, no, that's where it's. Yeah. Ledgestone's going to be at.
It's always been there.
At Northwood?
Yeah.
Really?
Northwood and the Emporia Temp course.
Oh, they changed it last year, though. They didn't play it all at Northwood because they did 4 rounds at Northwood for Champions Cup. Yeah, you're acting like I was confused there. That was my bad. Yeah. So does Champions Cup move? Am I wrong?
I don't know. Do you see where the Champions Cup is?
Well, yeah, it's in Stockton, California now,
okay.
But I feel like it's been in Northwoods the whole time.
No, it was in Georgia before that.
Oh, okay, yes, it was, because now that course isn't even there. Jeez, I'm all lost today. But anything else on how to make this season better? I think, I don't know, it's tough, because I wouldn't say last season was like this incredible season, you know what I mean? Obviously, Gannon did something that not a lot of people have ever done, you know what I mean? So, like, I can totally see where you're coming from there, but I wasn't like, at the end of the season, I wasn't like, wow, man, that was just incredible, you know, the season as a whole.
That's
in my
really
opinion.
Interesting. Because I bet if you won Worlds, you would have been like that.
Well, sure. But you got anything else for us?
No, I mean, unless you're ready for the Price is Wrong.
I'm ready for the Price is Wrong.
Okay, so for the Price is Wrong, actually no discs are included in this one. It is on brand for us right now because Cameron and Dad have been honing in their disc dyeing skills recently.
They're kind of popping off, actually.
So I've got a disc golf dyeing goods care package on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
I'm going to read you the description.
Sure.
It has clear glue, poly dye, warm dye. If you know, you know.
That's what it says.
That's what it says. Check out the pictures. I just lost interest in dyeing.
Sure.
So there is quite a few different color of dyes. It's in this cardboard box. I'll scroll through the pictures here for you.
Okay. That's what we have right there.
Pretty good little collection of stuff here.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff. But like how expensive is glue? You know,
I don't know. He's got a specific price. He has not changed the price either.
Is this local or is this?
It is local.
Interesting.
The greater Springfield area.
Sure.
I'm trying to see when the post was made. I can't see that information.
I think I kind of already have my price in mind.
Okay.
And
did you already see the price? Did you cheat?
Huh? No. You have this secret screen thing. So,
sure.
I feel like I'm always around this area when I guess. I want to be in the $50 range. But I always think about what I would pay, you know, not like what I think they would sell it for. You know what I mean? So I think I'm a little off on my...
Yeah.
You get glue, dye, and what else?
That dye ain't cheap.
No, I mean we got I guess it's like a 2-ounce thing for like $10. So I guess how many things of dye are there, and that'll kind of go into it here.
I mean, I can't tell for sure, but in this one box, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay,
in one box.
So
4, 5, 6, 7.
We'll
8,
just try
9,
to go.
Actually.
Oh wow! So we'll go a little bit more logistical here. We got 9. That's $90 plus glue. I guess I don't know how expensive glue is. I'm gonna go. It's probably all the dye's probably been used, so you take like a couple bucks off there. I'm gonna say $100. I know that's too high, but with the dye and everything, I feel like I want to say that's fair.
Yeah. You overshot a little bit, but honestly, not by much.
I guess $80.
Yeah, it was $80.
Oh,
yeah, $80.
I'll take my $20 miss there, but not too bad actually.
No, honestly, I think that's a very fair price for the amount of stuff that he was offering.
And then we have been like dying quite a bit. I think if I could like really hone it in, like honestly, like I would pay for that. You know what I mean? Especially if it's like a local pickup, I don't have to wait for shipping or anything like that. But
yeah, I think it depends how much dye is actually in those containers.
Sure, they could be almost empty.
Yeah.
Last thing we got, question for the day.
Yeah, question of the day here. What course are you most excited to see on the tour this year?
I think it's more so like not necessarily what tournament, because I feel like obviously like Worlds is always high regard, USDGC is always high regard, but it's like what course do you enjoy watching the most? You know what I mean?
Color me crazy. I actually don't even know if it's on the tour anymore because they kind of go back and forth so much. Is Waco still on the tour?
I believe so, yeah.
I love the Beast course. I think it's just nostalgic because it's not like special. I mean, it's cool. But even Cameron just went and played the number one course. The Hideaway course is the number one course in Texas. Like, the Waco course isn't even... I mean, I'm sure it's, like, popular. But it's, like, one of the first tournaments that I ever watched. Debatably could be one of the first disc golf YouTube videos I ever watched was Paul McBeth's 18 under at the Beast. And so I'm like, that course has got something special going on for me.
Sure.
And so I like watching it every year.
I think you obviously have, like, a lot of iconic holes there. I mean, really, 18 is probably the most iconic hole.
Definitely.
But hole 1 is, you either go over the top or you go right through the...
Yeah.
But there's one, and it's so vivid. It's the one that Germ, I think, eagled that par 4 where he throws the forehand, like, you're throwing, like, out into the left, and then it kind of snakes back right, but it's, like, it's tight in the woods, it goes open, and then it's, like, sitting up a hill, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
That was back when it was a par 5.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought he got that in. I thought he got it in 2. He threw like a flex forehand and got to like the bottom and then made the putt.
I don't know.
They
have changed the pars on that course a ton though.
But that's the one I remember. I think the one I am most excited for is Idlewild, and I think kind of like sort of the same vein. I've played that course twice now. It's probably my favorite course ever. That I've played, and I've played a lot, but
it's a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah, I definitely, now knowing how it's just like another level when you know how difficult a course is, like when you've actually like physically played it, to watching these guys just like murder it, you know what I mean? Just absolutely shred it. You're like, you have like a more of an appreciation for the game, I feel like.
Sure.
So I think I'm most excited for Idlewild. It's just I feel like it's a good balance course. It's mostly wooded for sure, but there's some big shots you got to throw out there. But let us know your favorite course. You're looking more. Jeez, I just started so bad there. Whatever course you're most excited to see on the tour. I believe that's it. We have anything close this out here?
That's all I got.
All right. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We enjoy doing this. We hope you enjoy watching it. We'll see you next Monday. Ozark Mountain Disc to the moon.